Garcia's head?
No, it just I'm sorry about that too. I ain't even been asleep. I've been running around all day. You know what I mean? I definitely apologize to all the guys that made this happen. Al Heyman, Steve Espinosa, Eva Golden Boy, and Mayweather Promotions. You know what I mean? Even the media for having them waiting and things like that. But I don't want to make no excuses. That's all on me. I definitely try to better myself and make sure I prepare myself more ahead of time. You know what I mean? But
well, let me ask you. It looked like during the face-off, I couldn't see his face because I was standing here, but it looked like you were saying to him, "You're not that guy." Is that what you said?
I think I said he. I don't know. No, I ain't say he's not that guy.
All right, what was said? Because that face-off got us fired up just a few feet away over here. What was said between the two of you up there?
I mean, he just said what he said, and I said that he ain't like that. I know. Like, I don't want to say like be this tough guy, but I know what it take, man. And some of these guys don't got it. They got it. They front runners. They played that tough guy role, but they ain't really too much like got that dog in them.
I mean, can you tell the aura of another man in a face-off? Is it a preview of what you're going to see in the ring at all?
I mean, not really, because they can. I mean, it can switch up, but you get that feeling. You get that feeling if the next fighter really coming for sure. You'll get it.
Tank, winner of this fight, are they the face of boxing? It's an unofficial title, but still.
I feel as though I'm the face of boxing right now.
Already.
In that jacket you are, I'll tell you that much.
No, I just think I'm the face of boxing. It's like, I mean, you gotta look at it. Like, I don't want to be too cocky, but it's a lot of fighters that if you watch, they do everything I do. It's something like when Floyd was coming through. It's something like when Oscar was coming through. It's something that you can't teach. It's just in you. You know what I mean? It's something like when Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali and, you know what I mean, all the greats was coming through. Everybody wanted to be like that. That's why a lot of people call my name. They ain't calling it because they want to get in there. It's also they want to get in there, but it's also like envy too. They want my spot and things like that. So that's what keep me on my game. You know what I mean? That's what made me back into like the. It's not about the money no more. It's about showing these guys that they ain't really like that, and guys that want my spot. I'm here to stay. You know what I mean? And that's what it is.
Tank, you said if there's a difference between the two of you, ultimately April 22nd when you meet in the ring, T-Mobile Arena, that it would be the dog that you have inside of you, and we've seen that played out before in big-time fights. Skills-wise, though, is he on your level?
You know that answer.
I got to ask you that, okay? No one cares about my opinion.
Nah, I don't think skill-wise he's on my level. But things can change. I don't want to be like this guy that's like, I'm so above people. You know what I mean? I got to still respect him as a fighter. But as far as, as a fighter, I feel as though he's not on my level as far as skills.
In terms of that dog, though, he got knocked down by Luke Campbell and then rallied and then stopped him. What do you take from that experience?
So I feel as though Luke Campbell just threw a shot that he didn't even know he was going to catch him with, and Luke Campbell don't have like, I don't want to talk down, but Luke Campbell ain't somebody that's really like going bite down and get gritty. You know what I mean? So I feel as though even like when what's his name?
Which guy?
He caught Floyd.
Marcos Maidana?
No.
Baldemir?
Shane Mosley?
No.
Chop Corley?
Chop. It's like when Chop caught Floyd, he really didn't have enough to like stop Floyd. Once he caught him, he looked at him like, you know what I mean? Like, I caught Floyd, and not try to get to the end of it. You know what I mean? So I feel as though that was something like how Luke Campbell was, and Ryan do have skills enough to, you know what I mean, to recover. He took a shot, he got back up, and he got the work. I feel as though that it was somewhat like he bounced back like a champ. I guess.
All right, he's going to have a 4.5-inch height reach over you, a slight reach advantage, but it's there. I know you're going to say, I fought tall fighters before, and you have. So what makes Ryan Garcia different in terms of danger from other opponents you faced?
Danger. He got speed, nice power. That's about it. He got speed, he got power.
Got a lot of followers on Instagram, too.
Yeah, he got a lot of Instagram followers, but they can't fight for him. That's what I just was telling them up there. They can't fight for you. Oscar can't fight for you. Bernard Hawkins can't fight for you. Your coach can't fight for you. You notice he even got his girl with him. He got his girl with him.
What does that say to you?
This is one of the toughest fights of his life, and he got his girl with him.
It is New York City. It's a nice place to see.
I mean, still, man, this business. This is a hurt business. You know what I mean? This is a hurt business. You leave the kids and the women's at home. It's time to pin and work.
You know, it's interesting. You said you're already the face of boxing. So let me ask you, what does a victory do for you? What does it add to what you've already gotten?
It get me over that hump. It get me over that hump. It's mainly so trying to break numbers, you know what I mean? Trying to mark my stepping grounds for real. Just become that guy. You know what I mean? It's a lot of thought up in the air, and you know what I mean. But it's time to make this my home. The whole boxing world. Make this my home. I'm here to stay.
Tank, I've followed both of your careers very closely, and in my opinion, it's clear. For Ryan Garcia, you're the toughest, the most difficult opponent he has yet to face as a professional. Is that true in your opinion on the flip side for you? Is he the toughest opponent you will have faced?
He's definitely the toughest opponent I can't say that yet. But on paper, I feel as though, yes. When I'm preparing for a fight, I say yes. Okay. You know what I mean? I can't really say just yet because I didn't share the ring with him. I'm for sure. I watch his fight. I know that he's a sound fighter, but I just don't know just yet till I share the ring with him.
Sure.
Can this fight do 1 million pay-per-view buys?
I think more.
You think more?
More.
What's the highest you think it could go?
The highest? I'm really not for sure the highest, but I feel
not a lot in boxing history go past 2 million. That's a hard hurdle to clear.
2 million?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Shit, we pushing for 2 million. 2.1. Hopefully, man. I'm just ending the, you know what I mean, the break numbers, man. If we can break numbers, I'm all for it, and I'm willing to do whatever to break them numbers.
Also, a small part of you, like, you excited to headline in Vegas? That's always like a thing, right?
Yeah, I never headlined in Vegas, right, for a fact. And I remember, and the crazy thing, I remember actually going to a Floyd versus Cotto fight, and after the fight, how so many celebrities was out just walking around, just like leaving from the fight. I was like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? I always use that as motivation. It's like, even like I just went to the Super Bowl and I watched Rihanna perform, and just how she can have like the whole, like, it's like controlling the crowd, things like that. Like, that really excite me. That really give me like that drive to, like, that's what I want. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Ryan want that too. So that's definitely put a battery in our back to keep pushing forward.
You came out to the ring in D.C. with Shy Glizzy. What's the plan for April 22nd?
I don't know.
Do you have one yet? Are you still working on it?
No, I don't have one yet. I don't really get into that till like probably like till it's like time to get into it. Like oh, you gotta hurry up and make your ring walk. So, like, you know what I mean? I really like to focus on the fight. You know what I mean? I'm definitely focused on like training. I'm actually worrying about when he's training, when he's not training, things like that. You know, so.
Tank, I want to close with this because you hear people say often in sports, it's really 90% mental at the end of the day. And some people say Tank Davis so talented. Even if he beats Ryan Garcia, maybe his toughest opponent is himself. Sometimes your name could be in different headlines. You can have distractions outside of the ring, core issues, what have you. How do you remain that focused, especially with this being such a dangerous fight?
Because I know I'm not what they portray me to be. Even like when they blow it out and blow it out proportion and things like that, I try to I'm close with my loved ones, like the people that actually like will be there if something ever to happen. You know what I mean? So they keep me like keep me humble and things like that. So I'm not too much of that bother me. It do bother me, but I have a great support system that help me that keep me focused. And again, I feel as though I'm not what the people portray me, and a lot of people don't get enough of me, you know what I mean? So they go off of what other people say about me or whatever this and the headline that day or whatever come out about me, you know what I mean? So people don't really see me that much on Instagram or they probably see me talk crazy on Twitter. But
we see you on crazy on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. But I'm only on Twitter when I'm in like in camp.
He's
you know
the master of, what do you call that, post and go?
Post and go.
Yeah.
He deletes it. Yeah.
I mean, I only delete it because, again, I still be trying to get like endorsements and stuff like that. And after I say what I say, it's like it's over. I don't want to keep going back and forth. And I might be mad at that moment and not be mad no more.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
We have to get out of here. Last one for
Yes,
me.
sir.
I asked Calvin Ford the same question, which was, some athletes, some boxers are real big on visualization. Some aren't. But about you, have you seen what this fight looks like in your mind? And if so, what is that?
Yes, I picture it. I picture it both ways, to be honest. But the way why I say I picture it both ways to keep my mind sharp, to make sure I don't just focus on one thing and that's winning. You know what I mean? I wanna try to focus on if he's in the lead. You know what I mean? I want to focus on all, like, so I could be able to handle it when it comes. You know what I mean? So, I feel as though I try to be realistic with myself.
Fair enough.
45 more days, Tank. Saturday, April 22nd, Showtime pay-per-view. We can't wait. We wish you luck. Great to see you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Gervonta Tank Davis, the one, 28-0, 26 KOs. This date cannot come fast enough.
Yeah, this today delivered.
A lot of fashion statements today from Gervonta's jacket. Did you like Leonard Ellerby's new beard?
I do like Leonard Ellerby.
All right, let me tell you something. Tank Davis was about close to 2 hours late. This broadcast had started at about 12:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I had a little bit of a 5-minute delay or so, but basically it started at 12:40. It's now 3:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For a big fight like this, it's like, bro, you can't do this. And he has a history, meaning Tank Davis, of being late to his events. So what we're going to do is we're going to blow through the press conference highlights. I'm only going to pick out the good stuff because it was a long, grueling event. So what we know so far is All Access. The award-winning docuseries build up to the fight is going to be on April the 1st and April the 7th. The fight is on April the 22nd. So is there going to be a third episode or some type of special that last week before the fight? You know, they already said they're going to do a lot of social media promotion, so maybe that's what's going on. Expect also there to be an epilogue episode after the fight, and it's looking like this is going to be a joint pay-per-view where you can buy either through The Zone or through Showtime. I'm guessing they may mix up the commentary team, kind of like they did with HBO. I would love to know the financial details of how that's going to work for them. So, I thought originally is that, and it probably likely will be, I thought that it was going to be on Showtime here in the States, and then The Zone would have overseas rights. My theory here just a theory, is that Showtime is also going to get a cut of the zone's profits from overseas marketing and obviously the fighters. That's just me. So the tickets are on sale tomorrow. We're going to go look at the ticket sales. And remember, this stream is not going to be long. I'm going to make sure I give you as much information as I can within this half an hour time slot, because I've been sitting here a long time. So I'm going to be also putting this into podcast format. And also, if you're interested in becoming a channel member, we're going to be rolling those out within the next 2 weeks. There's going to be special perks that's going to come with that, different than what you get from other guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to Steven Espinoza first. Then we're going to listen to Ryan Garcia. And then we're going to listen to brief clips from the press conference. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. I'm only going to show you the good stuff for those who didn't get to watch it. You see what I'm saying? So what else was I going to say? I'm going to put this in audio form on the Fight View 360 Boxing podcast. There is a 10-pound rehydration clause. And let's start with Steven Espinoza. Oh, and also the reason why they didn't choose the Legion Stadium is because, well, I'll let him explain it, then we'll talk about it. All right, here we go. We'll start here. Drop a like if you're watching, and thanks for watching, and please subscribe.
They change often. He's the man, he's the boss, he's Steven Espinoza. And Steven,
welcome, Steven.
Great
it's
to
a pleasure. Is this my first official appearance on the stream? I'm not sure.
I think so. You have been in the Morning Combat studio.
Hey. Yeah, I'm talking to you. It doesn't take too much to like the video or dislike it, but you got to do something. I'll cut this shit off. We're not doing this for our health, all right? Thanks for watching.
That's true, absolutely.
And he didn't let us go
the luxurious.
So that was a good start.
The luxurious Morning Combat studio.
Right. Steven, we've had a great time setting the stage for this before the fighters will be behind us on the stage in just a few moments. We talk about how big this is. Your job is to look for fights like this on the horizon and make them. This does hit those boxes that not every fight can do, the younger demographic, the celebrity clientele. Have you ever seen a fight exactly like this when they're this young, in some cases not fully proven?
Well, I think one of the things, and I don't want to put this fight in a box, and I don't want to reduce these guys to sort of social media phenomenon, but it is sort of the first fight that has this kind of social media presence. Certainly guys like Canelo have a big presence, but to have two guys in the core social media demographic with huge fan bases and legitimate fighters. I'm not discounting what the influencers are doing. We've done some of that as well. Sure. But this is, a social media promotion. These guys are legitimate boxers, very talented. I don't think they get the credit they deserve for being skilled boxers. But at the same time, they're obviously bringing in fans beyond the core base.
They're brands, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's two titan brands. It's Coke and Pepsi. I mean, obviously I'm overstating it a little bit, but what I mean is, are people watching this because of the implications about a title or the future of the weight class? I'm sure some are in the weight class idea, but really why they're watching it is because you have a huge star who's super young and undefeated versus another huge star who's super young and undefeated, and they have their own fan bases, and they're clashing. It's Godzilla versus Mothra.
No, that's absolutely right. And two very different fan bases, different geographically. I mean, obviously, they both travel, but Ryan's fan base is really strong, Southern California, the Southwest, Mexican-American, Latino community. Tank, his core is East Coast, although he has obviously done well across the country as well. So two very different fan bases, two very engaged fan bases, and really two different fighters. I mean, you can't really boil it down to speed versus power, but that's one of the themes. Tank's power versus Ryan's speed.
And Tank certainly, if there's a key edge, a little bit more experience at the highest level. He's 4 years older at 28. But I got to give a lot of credit to Ryan Garcia. And you're a boxing fan. I'm sure you appreciate not only his fun style, but at 24, going out of his way to make a fight this difficult.
No, absolutely. And look, Ryan's heard the criticism. When you have a social media fan base as big as he has, and he's a good-looking kid, people want to discount his credentials and say, look, he's a hype job. He isn't. You don't get a 15-time national amateur champion, just on the strength of being a good social media follow. He is a skilled boxer and probably doesn't get the credit that he deserves either.
During the time it took to make this fight, there were a ton of people who were like, nope, not going to get made, forget it. And you always remained really positive. Never like conclusive, but definitely pretty
Why
positive.
do we have so many doomsday people in boxing with the sign on the side of the street, you know?
But
as recently as yesterday, by the way, people saying this isn't going to happen.
But my question to you is this. What was going on that you maintained such optimism about the chances to make this fight?
It's a great question. And it really is the reason, I think, the fundamental reason this fight got made. And that was the commitment of these two fighters, the commitment of Tank and Ryan. Because there were plenty of places they could have taken an exit ramp. They could have taken the off ramp, taken another opportunity, and they didn't. You know, and we've seen other negotiations fall apart because one guy or the other got impatient or got tempted by another deal or went to chase some other money or a different opponent. That certainly could have been the case here, but these guys remained focused and did not take any other opportunity, were not distracted, said no matter what they were being advised, no matter what opportunity was put in front of them, they said, no, I want this fight. This is the fight. You guys don't come back to me until the answer is the deal's done. I
know that this fight had a few possible locations, MGM, Allegiant. It ended up in T-Mobile. Why T-Mobile?
Well, look, I love MGM. I think, we were looking for a slightly bigger venue than that. I would have loved to be Allegiant. There are some challenges in terms of the production there, which, at some point, we will be there. I think at some point in the near future, that's still a to-do list. I think it's going to be a phenomenal arena for boxing. It just worked out, on a short time frame, and where we were in the calendar. Going to something that was a little bit more familiar was probably the easier thing.
Well, look, that's one giant date on the calendar, April 22nd, that us boxing fans are circling.
So there we have one answer right there. One question answered on why didn't it go to Allegiant Stadium. And basically, for an event in that building, this is what I got from it. For an event in that stadium, the first boxing event in that stadium for the time frame, Showtime, didn't really, it was too much of a big task to do, for a fight that's supposed to be happening on April the 22nd. Showtime has a great team, broadcast team, but to be able to outfit a stadium, that stuff costs money, you dig? We're going to go listen to now. Let me see who's next. We're going to go listen to Ryan Garcia, Joe Goosen. So they interviewed Steven Espinoza, Calvin Ford, Joe Goosen. Calvin Ford got a little emotional, but nothing really pertinent. The same thing with Joe Goosen. We really didn't get a lot of information from him, but we did get some nice quality information from Ryan Garcia for as long as they talked. So I'm going to let you listen to him. Also, take your time out, like the video, subscribe. We're going to be here this weekend covering Tim Tszyu and Tony Harrison. They have a press conference tomorrow, and I'm going to say it one more time. This is not just only a boxing channel. I will cover boxing. Boxing is my love and passion, but we're more so branching away from that. Don't get me wrong, we're always going to cover boxing. But as it stands right now, yeah, we got a good run of boxing going on right now for the next few months, but it's not always like this, and boxing can't be relied on. So I'm going to be covering other content. It'd be great if you stick around, subscribe. I've been really hemorrhaging subscribers for a reason, because I was trying to weed out those past subscribers who wanted me just to cover one thing, boxing and news, politics, entertainment, whatever. So this is a variety channel, but as it stands, boxing, the channel is somewhat dominated by boxing, but we want to get boxing to about 30%, movies, TV reviews, 30%, news, politics, about 30%, and 10% of whatever the hell I want to cover. So let's go listen to Ryan Garcia's interview. And he says some pretty interesting things right here. But we're going to start here.
Face is popping up around
here.
Yeah,
I'm looking around. I see Ryan Garcia here off to my left. He's got a crew of giant men surrounding him.
Yes.
I believe there's a lot of boxing luminaries in terms of media here as well.
Akin Barak in the house. So
Akin Barak. Shouts to Akin Barak. We love that.
All things Gervonta Tank Davis and King Ryan Garcia, April 22nd. You're talking about the Southern California superstar right here, the unbeaten 24-year-old. Now, it used to be King Rye. Now it's King Ryan. Is this just a maturity thing, Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, we have to emphasize. People got to understand what it is. King Ryan. you know, it kind of confuses people. King Rai, what is that?
Right.
So I'm like, you know
We
what?
noticed on the dais.
Nobody gets it. I'm going to make it easy for them. It's just King Ryan.
All right. So many areas we can go because it's such a great fight. It's a career-defining date, and you push to make it happen. I think, you know, in a lot of ways, it takes two to tango, and both fighters said yes. Why did you need this fight right now so badly?
I think it's really a testament to what my heart truly is. You know, there's been a lot of perceptions on who I am as a fighter, if I'm serious about it. And, you know, I was tired of the misconception about myself. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make this fight happen. I put the fans and I put the boxing in itself before myself, because a lot of the times during this negotiation, I probably should have said no because of the stipulations he put against me. Obviously, he likes to fight people with no power, so he's trying to weight drain me. Then a rehydration clause, I can't gain more than 10 pounds. There's a lot of stipulations in there that show what kind of character he has, his integrity, and the will of a competitor he has. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have the heart of the champion. Look at him, how he represents himself as a champion. He's not even here. It's been over an hour. I mean, there was like 46,000 people watching, and I was here, and he's still not here. So, I mean, you could take that as he's cool and whatnot, but in reality, if you look at the truth, it's unprofessional, and it's pretty whack of a champion like himself.
Wow, we had talked about this. What would the temperature be when you two face off on the stage, which should happen shortly behind us? Is it already a little icy?
It's not icy, but like, how whack is it? You know, we're already rushing this promotion to make it happen, and then you're not here. You know, we got to rush things for your little issue, so why aren't you here? Like, show that respect for the promotion and for the event that it deserves, boxing, for that part. So, I mean, to me, it just shows, like I said, his character, his integrity is showing loud right now.
How hard is it to make 136 right now?
It's hard. I mean, I'm 24 years old, not a little guy anymore. I'm making a lot of sacrifices. I'm very hungry, very thirsty. I'm on a strict diet. As you see, I'm already looking good because I'm already cutting weight.
So you're already pretty lean.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. I'm doing everything I have to do and making every sacrifice you could think of to make this fight happen. And like I said, it just shows his character.
All right, when you talk about this fight, when you said yes to the matchup, what about Tank Davis forces you to focus the most? What is the key thing you are looking at in terms of your preparations that you have to beat him in this moment, in this area, come April 22nd?
When it comes to the fight, yes, if you look at the face value, it's speed, power, right? It's timing, it's everything. But in reality, I think it's going to come down to the mind. A lot of the times in my fights, I haven't, you know, I've been overwhelming on the speed factor or this power factor, so I haven't really had to use, you know, the little intricacies of boxing that you don't see. But I think this fight is gonna be a chess match in a way, and that might shock people.
Is that why it's like, in other words, of all the big names you could have called out, you picked this one? Why this one?
Because I think it's a respect to Tank. I think that he's one of the best fighters in the world. And since I was young, I've always had that fire as a competitor on fighting the best. And I think this is the fight that's going to actually give me the crown. It's one thing to call yourself king. It's another one to actually have it. So I think this is the fight to do it. And after this, there's not much more to say about myself other than, damn, he is what he says he is. Like, he's not just, you know, it's going to kind of, I don't want to say humble the world, but in a way where it's like judging, it's like the tale as old as time is don't judge a book by its cover. It's within a person. It's not what they see outwardly. It's within you. And I think that's the biggest misconception about myself and social media. It's like there's a true fighter within me that you're going to see come fight night.
All right, let's talk about Gervonta. January 7th on Showtime pay-per-view. He knocked out Hector Luis Garcia in the fight that was meant to prepare him for you. How would you grade his performance? What did you learn from him that night?
No, I didn't really learn much. It's kind of it's a different fight. Obviously, Hector Garcia is around his size as well, height-wise, and it's kind of the usual Tank fight. You know, he gives away the rounds in the beginning to let you kind of blow off steam, like most guys do, because you know they got most of the energy in the beginning of the round, so he's not going to take much chances in those rounds. Now, his defense is not that good in the beginning of the rounds because I've seen him get hit. But that's kind of his game plan. I'm going to try to deflect as many shots as I can. I'll pick my spots. And then later on, I'll start applying smart pressure and start banging away and hopefully land a big shot. But when you have seen that before and can prepare for it, now you have a guy that is not going to blow his steam away. And we're going to play it how we got to play it. And then that's where boxing actually happened. Now it's a boxing fight. Now you got to think in there. Because if I hit you, it's not going to feel good. You're not going to want to, you know, keep coming forward and try to take chances. You know, if I find a good shot, 9 times out of 10 it should hurt him. And if not, I just beat him. How about that? How about I just beat him? How about I just beat him?
Outbox him?
Yeah. How about I just outbox him? I've been boxing since I was 7 years old. I can move. I can dance. I can do a little bit of that. I don't do it because I like knocking people out. But if I see in the fight I have to do it, I will.
You can go to that gear.
100%.
All right, I like the vibe here. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I want to say I like the vibe because I can feel in a healthy way that you've got this chip on your shoulder. And when you have, look, as many social media followers as you're going to get a lot of love, and I know you get a lot of hate. What part of your game entering this fight are you most excited to prove the haters wrong on? Because people will say, oh, he's great, but he can't take a punch.
I think intelligence and defense. I think that people always say I don't have defense, but I've never seen myself bruised up in a fight. I've never seen
the Campbell fight, in fairness.
No, but I'm talking about, like...
Oh, it's swollen up?
I got caught with one shot. It was a great shot, and it dropped me. But I wouldn't say that's a lack of defense. That's a great shot. You know what I mean? Like, he timed me perfect. He faked me, and he's tall and rangy. Mind you, I hadn't fought a person as tall as me in I don't even know how long. So when he threw that shot, usually, you know, you back up, you know the distance. Right. He cracked. I wasn't reading the range right there. You know, I'm used to smaller guys at my weight class. Right. So he caught me with a very tricky shot, and everybody's been trying to land that shot since, and they have not landed it because it's hard to land. That's not an easy shot to land. You got to reach and you got to come in. Smaller guys, that's a lot of ground to cover, so I'll catch them before they come in. So those little things people kind of miss, but I don't think I have a lack of defense, and I think that's going to be shown this fight when Gervonta has a little bit of trouble hitting me more than he thinks.
It was interesting as he was asking me what's been the biggest change in, not so much, I mean, it's not like you radically transformed from going to Eddie Reynoso to Joe Goossen, but in your mind, what's the biggest difference now that you're training with Joe when you see yourself on sparring? How do you feel different? Because it looks to me like some of the decision making is better. I do think the defense is better. It just looks cleaner to me. Yeah.
When I was with Canelo's camp, I felt like I had more of a immature mindset where I'm just gonna go blast this guy. You know, I'm gonna walk through anything. I'm gonna blast him, and I don't have that mindset so much more. It's more like, you know, we're gonna play the game how it's supposed to be played. Boxing is supposed to be played this way. We're going to respect the game, and we're going to do things the right way. I have the power, I have the speed, but let's put it all together and let's box, right? Because before I'm throwing hooks like Canelo, I'm throwing overheads. I kind of had the same kind of movement, you know what I mean? Which was good at the time for sure, especially for the Campbell fight. You know, you had to go get him. He's a great boxer. Right. But now for this fight, you need everything. So I think it's part of the transition with Joe, but it's also a transition to myself. You know what I mean? Realizing that, you know, you got to respect fighters. And because in this ring, it doesn't show no mercy. You could walk into one, for sure.
No doubt about it. Or they can walk into one of yours as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You've become a bit of a body snatcher when it comes to the
to
the body punch, which can be such a great equalizer in a close fight. Yeah. How much is that a part of your focus heading into this matchup?
Speaking of Campbell, speaking of Fortuna.
Yeah, what helps me with that is, like, everybody's looking for the hook, but you don't know where it's going. You don't know if it's going to go to the head or the body or around the ear. So, yeah, you could look for the hook, but now that I have a really good body shot, it really helps my element of surprise. You know what I mean? I'm actually surprised. I landed the same shot to Fortuna. which really opens up so many other doors for other shots, and including the right hand. I actually have a strong right hand, and now my right hand is fully back.
Yeah, Joe was just telling us the sparring partners are like, yo, like everyone is thinking left hook. That right hand is no.
My right hand's heavier. My left hook is sneakier. Which one knocks people out? It's the sneakier one.
Right.
So this one has enough power to knock you out because it's so sneaky. But this is heavier. If you get hit with this, even if you see it, it hurts. It's like, what the hell you hit me with? You know what I mean? But this, you won't see it. It don't matter. I don't care who you are.
You think you have the best left hook in boxing?
I mean, there's a lot of people that have great left hooks. I think what you've seen in my fights, you could have a very strong argument. I do. But a lot of people have good hooks, but mine
it's up there.
Seems to be knocking people out.
It seems to work really well.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised. I'm like, damn, I don't even think I hit him. Did I hit him? Like, Duno, I was like, doom. And you just went out. And I'm like, dang, it is pretty sneaky, though. I'll give it that.
Would you say, we sometimes talk about narratives in the sport overall, and I think this fight emphasizes that the younger fighters of this generation, and you're in a lot of ways the face of that at age 24, to use the term we throw around too often, they want all the smoke. You're facing Tank Davis right now, not 4 or 5 years from now. Does this start a trend? Do you see this like we do where
Fulton and Inoue?
You know, it's like the American young fighters are just like, nah, man, we're not waiting. We're not waiting to Mayweather Pacquiao 5-year build to get there. We want it now. How do you speak to that?
I think I speak to that staying true to myself, obviously. Not letting the business of boxing persuade me in from my morals, I guess you could say, or my character. My character is to fight the best. Yeah, I could have milked this a little bit more, but again, then I'm going against myself. Yeah. So does it start a trend? I don't know, because I only can speak for myself.
But you can lead by example.
I can lead by example, just kind of like how I did with, speaking up about mental health. Yes. People, fighters in their South felt more comfortable to say, you know what, something's going on here. You got to remember, we get hit in the head for a living. You know what I mean? There's going to be a little bit of mental health issues. You know what I mean? And you notice back in the day, if you don't speak about it or you don't handle it, you end up acting out hurting other people. You know what I mean?
That's important.
Hurt people.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, for me, it's like, I don't want to act out. I don't want to hold this in. Let me go figure it out. You know what? I'm going to do myself right, and hopefully that inspires young men, young women, or older men or older women to really care about themselves, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to really care about you other than you.
Well, that's important with your platform. We appreciate that. Great chatting with you, Ryan Garcia. They need you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
They got big things to do, as I believe Tank Davis's arrival is.
Did he?
Is.
So remember, Tank Davis was late as hell. We're only going through the highlights. It was a long, grueling press conference. Tomorrow's press conference is going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern. From LA right about now. Hopefully Tank Davis is not going to be late, because this press conference right here was about 2.5 hours long. Like ridiculous. It started at 12:40, then it didn't end until about less than an hour ago. Like, it was ridiculous. Let's go listen to let's see who's next. And look, I'm gonna show you. They started the press conference without Tank being there. Look. They started without him being there. That's how bad it was. Bad look. And me personally, I think that he was hungover from partying last night, drunk still today, or, high as a kite, because his energy was a little, like different. And he did say that he didn't sleep. But look, this was weird.
This great city, so nice, they had to name it.
And he has a reputation for being late to his events. He was late to the Hector Garcia press conference and to the weigh-in. And then he didn't even stay for any interviews after the weigh-ins. I get it, motherfucker be hungry, but this is your event. He's the star. Fulfill your media obligations. Also, Leonard Ellerbe is back, by the way. We're going to listen to him looking like Ronald Isley, Mr. Biggs.
Twice. This is the official kickoff press conference for Davis.
We're not going to watch the whole thing. I'm just letting you know how awkward it was, or showing you how awkward it was.
Versus Garcia. I'm Brian Custer, the host of Showtime Championship Boxing. Thank you. I know y'all been waiting. But I'm here to tell you the time has come. Time has come for one of the biggest fights of 2023. This will be a clash of two young stars in their prime stepping over the promotional, the broadcast barriers to give fight fans what they want, and that's a mega fight. It's really a bringing together of two of boxing's most explosive, unbeaten, popular fighters, along with their millions, and I'm talking millions, of social media followers. This young man to my left, to your right, Ryan Garcia, blistering hand speed, one of the most deadly left hooks in the sport of boxing. He's unbeaten. He's 23-0. He's got 19.
Like, this was awkward, and all of them got to speak. You know, this is what Tom Brown had to say. And I would have been pissed if I was media there. I would have been pissed. I did see on Twitter, some of them are really pissed off that Tank had them waiting so long. Tank did apologize, though, but it's like, still, bro, come on.
Thank you, Brian. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. Well, it's happening. This highly anticipated super fight, which the fans have been begging for, is happening April 22nd at the T-Mobile in Las Vegas, Nevada. And make no mistake about this. This is a super fight, one of the biggest boxing has to offer. It's not often in today's game we see two young fighters, both in their prime, both undefeated, and both entertaining knockout punchers collide. So props to everyone involved in making this fight happen. This really is boxing at its best. No sanctioning body ordered this fight. It's not a mandatory. It's a case of the two best fighters in the division demanding that this fight happens. And any fight involving Gervonta Davis equates to big business and box office success. Tank Davis has proven his star power by breaking records everywhere he fights, making him one of the sport's biggest stars. In his last fight at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., a new all-time gate record, breaking the venue's previous record of the Rolling Stones. Prior to that fight, his event at Barclays Center broke the record for the highest grossing boxing show in the arena's history. And the attendance number also set a new record for boxing at Barclays. He's one of the most explosive and dangerous fighters in the world. And unlike Luke Campbell, if Tank Davis puts you on your ass, you're not getting up. Thank you.
Oh. Also, look at this right here. So when he finally does show up, Bernard Hopkins has some interesting things to say too. He's been really kind of irritable when it comes to getting fights done.
Those names. But I have one that y'all need y'all to put in your back pocket for the future, because this is a fight that starts a lot of big other fights, become contagious. Here's that other name that y'all gonna have to call me from now on until I die. The biggest instigator in boxing. Yeah, I'm gonna instigate a lot of stuff to make things at least get talked about and put pressure, no matter where you're from, where house you live in. That means promoters. Everybody that had everything to do with this fight, they need to be respected, and thank you to whoever those people. But we know the fans wanted it. You heard that from Tom Brown. This is one of those fights that we know that we don't see maybe once or twice in a year in the 80s and 90s. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It feels like that to me. So all the reporters, everybody that play a role in the sweet science of boxing, please treat it like that. Don't be late. Be on time if you didn't get it. And also understand that you got to respect the game, just like we got to respect your opinions about what you see, what you think you've seen, and what you wrote. But this fight has ingredients, and also because of the two fighters who will be future Hall of Famers, want to prove that come April. Enjoy it. Like I said, This is the top of the year of the biggest fight of this year. And the biggest fight even before it got to this point of 23. We all should treat it that way again. Enjoy the fight and tell everybody that not fight fans to tune in on this one and promise them, because I believe everybody in this room should feel that way, that this is going to be a fight that hooks them, that make them stay in the sweet science of being a fan. So if you can do that and we can do that, see how we can work together. You see how this fight got done? So now we need y'all to do what y'all do. All right? I'm going to cut it with that. Enjoy the fight. And don't ask me who's going to win, because y'all know what side I'm on. And you know what I believe. But now it ain't up to me what I think when it comes to the two fighters. Either you're going to be wrong the day after or that night, or you're going to be right. Let's enjoy the sweet science come April 14th. Thank you.
Also, you know what I noticed? It really seems like to me that Tank Davis finally shows up. It really seemed like to me that Steven Espinoza and Ryan Garcia are the main reasons that this fight is happening. I don't believe that Al Heyman wanted this fight. I believe it was him that tried to, because watch the event, watch the press conference, and the way everyone's been talking is like, you know, like you got to thank the fighters. Something ain't right there. By the way, what is Leonard Ellaby doing there? Anybody have an answer to that? Remember, he wasn't involved in any way, shape, or form with the Hector Luis Garcia fight. There's no Mayweather Promotions anywhere on this fight. You think that is an agreement that maybe, you know, they had to be involved in some type of way with the PBC, you know, they had to be involved in some type of way? I would have loved to see Floyd there. Floyd and Oscar, B-Hop, all them, Leonard Ellaby. That would have been a really positive sign for boxing to see all those guys together. But boxing's got its egos. But I'm really like, what is Ellaby doing there? That's what really, you know, I would like to know about, because he disappeared for a little while. If you don't know, let's go look at Ellaby. Oscar didn't really say anything, but we'll listen to him.
You know, there's some boxing insiders who will
We'll listen to Oscar.
This guy
is taking place.
Promotions. He's the golden boy himself, Oscar De La Hoya.
Thank you very much, Brian. And
that's what it seems like to me, Howard, that, you know, Leonard is getting some type of percentage somewhere. And but also it was noticeable for the Hector Luis Garcia fight that Tank Davis does need a mouthpiece. You know, maybe that's what he's there for. You know, maybe Al Heyman was like, all right, Tank, you need somebody. Listen, you know, even though it's outside of Mayweather Promotions, which is pretty much dead anyway, you know, we'll, you know, send Leonard Ellaby with you to help you out, speak for you, do interviews, be your PR spokesperson guy.
you know, as I was thinking about my comments today, one word that really comes to mind is mega fight. You know, the word gets thrown around a lot. You know, by when somebody hears about a pay-per-view is happening and taking place, you know, there's some boxing insiders who will call it a mega fight just because it's on pay-per-view. But how often do you get two guys who are undefeated, two fighters who have huge fan bases, two fighters who are early in their peak of their career, and two guys that are represented by different companies, different broadcasters? To me, that's what a mega fight is all about, is bringing everyone together, bringing, first of all, the fighters together, the best two fighters in their weight division, in that same ring, and getting everyone together to work together for a big mega fight. That's what it's all about. So it almost never happens, but Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis is one that the world is not going to miss. Trust me, when we were promoting fights back in the day with Mayweather and myself and everybody, those big mega fights is what made boxing. When two personalities come into the ring together and create the perfect storm. And that's exactly what they're going to do on April 22nd, is create the perfect storm. And yeah, a lot of guys obviously know I'm with my guy, you know. And this is the reason why we're going to bring back those glory days, those big pay-per-view glory days, because of this guy right here, Ryan Garcia. So April 22nd, these two guys here are going to battle it out. They're going to fight. And I can't do any talking whatsoever because I'm not going to fight for them. And they got to do the job themselves. But that's the beauty. They wanted this fight. Nobody else. Ryan Garcia wanted this fight years ago. And now it's here. April 22nd. So may the best man win. May the best man win. I have a lot of respect for Tank. He's an amazing fighter, a great fighter. He's a special fighter. And I have a lot of respect for Ryan Garcia. He's a great fighter and a special fighter as well. So April 27th, good luck, and may the best man win. Thank you.
While Oscar sound like he can't breathe, you think his new abs are too tight? Here's Ellaby. I was surprised when I saw him there. He's got the new goatee, the old head goatee. I mean, the old head beard, the all gray joint.
He's Mr. Leonard Ellaby.
Also, I don't think he mentions Mayweather Promotions one time. I think he's just there as the mouthpiece and just hired by Tank Davis. He will defend you to death, though. That's one thing for sure about Ellaby.
Really excited to be here today. Lots of sunshine in beautiful New York City.
They say he look like Papa Smurf.
Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. By far the biggest fight in the entire sport. I recall a couple years ago, I was in Miami for the Logan Paul Floyd exhibition, and I was standing outside the hotel, and Ryan approached me, and he came up to me and he said, "Look," he said, "I want to F your boy up." I said, "Look here, Slim, you don't want none of that work." You recall that conversation? And he went on to tell me, he said that's the fight that he really, really wanted. That's the only fight that he wanted. And this was a few years ago. And throughout everything, I believed him. When it comes to Tank Davis, Tank has been very, very adamant about getting this guy in the ring. When you got two young, undefeated guys coming together, it's going to be nothing but fireworks. And as Steven just mentioned, you got to give all the credit to the two fighters. Because when it comes down to it, the fighters got to want it. It's not about the promoters at all because, you know, if it was up to his promoters, this fight would not be happening. So we got to give Ryan all the credit because he forced his promoters to make this fight. And that's why we're very, very excited because come April 22nd, it's going to be nothing but fireworks. And again, Tank Davis is going to go out there and show you why he's one of the best fighters in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonard. All right, let's meet the teams. Coming to the podium. By the way, congratulations, because he's one of the newest members of the International Boxing Hall of Fame. One of the best trainers around, Mr. Joe Goosen.
All right, I hope if this mic doesn't act up on me. It's been acting up on everybody else tonight. How you doing, Tank? Good to see you. And your team, of course. What a great what's that? I'm sorry. What a great event this is going to be. I mean, it's already today is this is when things become real, when you get the two fighters together, and we have these press conferences, and we've been training like Tank's been training, I'm sure, all along, but I think after this press conference, you get a renewed invigoration for what we're doing here, because we know it's going to be a tough fight. You're a great fighter. You've already proved that. Ryan's a great fighter. I love working with him. And I just know you guys are going to put on a great show. I'm not going to say a lot more about it because, everyone else has talked about these two men. And they're going to go down in history. They're going to make history on the 22nd. This is an incredible pairing of two guys at this
dance partner. Coming up, I watch
testimony to a very long time. Thank you guys for coming today. Sorry for the wait, but we're here now. Thank you. I want to thank Golden Boy Promotions, obviously GTD Promotions, Showtime, DAZN. We really came together and really conquered the poison that's been stopping boxing from having the biggest fights. It wasn't easy, but we found a way.
Who's the poison?
This has been a fight that I've wanted for a very long time, and because for me, to be a champion, you have to beat the best. It's not about the titles. It's not about like I said, the titles. It's about who you beat. And for me, it's a testimony to the respect I got for him as a fighter. To me, I believe he's one of the best, and I've had that type of mentality since I was a young kid. Growing up in the amateurs I never thought about the weight class. I only thought about who was in it, because I want to be the best. And during this whole journey, I definitely put boxing first and the fans first, because I had to accept a lot of stipulations. They know it, going down in weight, rehydration clause. I don't want to bring up too much, but those are the little things that I said to myself, you know what, if I put myself first, I should say no. But my heart don't let me. I got the character of a champion, and my power comes from within and from above. No matter what weight I'm down to, no matter what I have to do, my strength comes from here. I don't look like I hit hard, but I do hit hard. The punches, they just come quick, but when they hit you, you're just down. So I want to also, almost forgot, I want to thank Jesus Christ. Thank you so much. Glorious moment, I want to give it to Jesus. Thank you.
Jesus
Above
Christ.
all, April 22nd, this is the time where the words don't matter no more. The truth will come out. We're all about the truth. He's a great fighter. I'm a great fighter. We settled in the ring. Whoever wins holds the crown. Let's get it.
Jesus
Love
Christ.
it. Coming to the podium now, another unbeaten, 28-0, 26 knockouts.
We're going to need better energy for the press conference tomorrow in LA, because this joint was, we're going to listen to Tank and then I'm getting up out of here. I got to start cooking dinner. This motherfucker was 2 hours late.
Man, we back at it. This time we got another dance partner. Coming up, I watch Floyd and Oscar, also Bernard Hopkins, and Joe Goosen and things like that. And I know that, it's gonna be tough. This fight gonna be tough. I feel as though that, this is what we came to do. I've been boxing since I was 7 years old. I fought a lot coming up. So I'm just happy to be a part of this moment, sharing the ring with a young fighter like Ryan Garcia, that's willing to dare himself to be great. He talked his way into this fight, and April the 22nd, he's going to have to be able to show it. I'm coming from, where I come from, Baltimore City, the inner city. A lot of people don't make it from there. So, again, I'm just happy to be a part of this this fight. You know what I mean? This event. I want to thank Showtime, Al Heyman, Golden Boy, Ryan, Joe Goosen, you know what I mean? And I want to thank, you know what I mean, God, you know what I mean, my personal team and things like that, because I couldn't have did this by myself. You know what I mean? I had a great team, a great personal team and things like that, as far as like my personal team, my coaches, my support system, and kept me up. You know what I mean? I've been, again, keeping my head down and stay grinding in and out the gym. You know what I mean? We had a lot of people that talked down on us and things like that, but we stay focused and keep our head down a little bit and continue to grind. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. You know what I mean? So April the 22nd, Ryan and Gervonta, big event. Make sure y'all buy the pay-per-view. If y'all can't buy the pay-per-view, make sure y'all show up. You know what I mean? So thank y'all for having me, and see y'all April the 22nd.
And after that, the press conference was pretty dry. I do admit it wasn't no type of controversy and everything. The best parts were when both fighters had their sit-down interviews with the Morning Combat team. Tomorrow, the press conference is going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern over in LA. Hopefully, Tank Davis is not late and it's a little more, you know, like it moves along a little faster. I don't want the fighters to fabricate beef. There's going to be 2 episodes, at least, of All Access that we know of. There's going to be April the 1st episode and April the 11th. No, he said April the 1st and April the 7th are the episodes of All Access. I'm guessing they're going to do a lot of All Access Showtime content on the Showtime social media platforms for the week before and the week of the fight. And, of course, you can expect an All Access epilogue after the fight. The fight's going to be taking place in the T-Mobile Arena. Catch weight of 136 pounds. There's a 10-pound rehydration clause on Ryan Garcia. He can come in on fight day, fight night, weighing no more than 146 pounds. He seemed to be pretty upset about that. And there's not even a belt on the line. From what I'm gathering from it, it was really Ryan Garcia's team and Steven Espinoza having to really deliver a big fight that this fight is happening. For some reason, I don't feel that Al Heyman wanted this fight, and I'm not quite sure if Tank Davis really wanted the fight. I'm not sure, but everything I've gotten from this and all of this promotion so far from what we've seen, it's looking like that Showtime really was looking to go another way, and Ryan Garcia kept pushing and pushing and pushing. It's going to be on pay-per-view on both platforms, DAZN and Showtime. And I guess it's safe to say that DAZN is going to have international rights. Likely they'll have to split that with Showtime. But I thought that was interesting, is that you can watch via DAZN or you can watch via Showtime. We have no clue or any type of information on the undercard. Don't expect for the undercard to be too great. The reason why they didn't go with Allegiant Stadium is because, according to Steven Espinoza, it was too short of a time frame. And, you know, logistically, there's some issues. Basically, it would be the first boxing event in Allegiant Stadium. And, you know, there were some things that they couldn't work out in time frame. Tickets are looking like it's $5,000 to sit ringside. I'm expecting for them to sell out really fast. I'm going to put the ticket information down below in the description box, or you can just go to fightview360.com. That ticket information is actually going to be uploaded sometime in the next couple of hours or so. I'm going to put this video into audio format on the FightView 360 boxing podcast, available on all of your listening platforms. All you got to do is Google that, FightView 360 boxing podcast. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. I've been literally covering this press conference since 12 noon. It started at 12:40 p.m. Eastern. It is now 4:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm getting up out of here. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.